This book is one of the greatest books on finance you can have. It has 20 chapters in total. Every chapter will be discussed in a very simple language. So without wasting time, let's get started. Chapter number 1. No one is crazy. People do crazy things with money, but no one is crazy. What makes sense to me might seem crazy to you. We all are from different generations, raised by different parents, born into different economics, have different experiences with money as well. People know the theory that we should make our investment decision based on our goals and the characteristic of investment options we have. But that's not what people do. People who have faced the economic crisis have different thoughts about the risk and rewards. If you grew up when the stock market was strong, you would invest more money in stocks than those who grow up when the stocks were weak. In short, we do the crazy stuff with money, but we are not crazy. Chapter number 2. Luck and Risk. Here is the interesting story of Microsoft's founder and co-founder Bill Gates and Paul Allen. This story can teach you that luck and risk are two siblings that can influence an individual's success more than his efforts. In 1968, Bill Doggle, a World War II Navy pilot turned math and science teacher, made efforts to bring the teletype Model 30 computer to his lakeside school. Bill Gates and Paul Allen were studying in the same school. Bill Gates and his friend Paul Allen got access to this computer at age 13, when most university graduates could not get it. In 1968, roughly 300 million high school age people were in the world. About 18 million of them lived in the United States. About 270,000 of them lived in Washington state. A little over 1 lakh of them lived in the Seattle area. And only about 300 of them attended Lakeside School. Starting with 300 million, ending with 300. 1 in a million high school age students had a chance to attend a school that has a computer. And Bill Gates happened to be one of them. Of course, Bill Gates' success was due to his dedication and hard work. But luck played an important role. Even Bill Gates admitted by saying, if there had been no Lakeside, there would have been no Microsoft. Now here is the story of Bill Gates' classmate Kent Evans. He experienced a powerful dose of luck's close sibling, Risk. He was also part of Lakeside's computer prodigies gang and had equal skills and drive for computers. He could be the founding partner of Microsoft. But Ken died in a mountaineering accident before graduated high school. Every year there are 3 dozens of mountaineering deaths in United States. Bill Gates and Paul Allen experienced 1 in a million luck by graduating from Lakeside. Kent Evans experienced 1 in a million risks by never getting to finish graduation. The same magnitude of force, but walking in the opposite direction. Luck and risk are factors that are hard to judge in an individual's financial success. We can't emulate the Warren Buffett's success because his results are so extreme that we don't know how much luck is involved. But 2 things can point you in a better direction. Be careful who you praise and admire, and also be careful who you dislike and wish to avoid becoming. Focus less on specific individuals and case study and more on broad patterns. We should forgive ourselves when judging failure. Nothing is as good as bad as it seems. Chapter number 3. Never enough. People who are millionaire wants to be a billionaire, and people who are billionaires want to be in the top 3 of the richest person on earth. Running behind more and more money is a never-ending game. People do crazy things to reach the next level. Warren Buffett puts this in better words. To make money they did not have and did not need, they risked what they did have and did need. It's just plain foolish. If you risk something that's important to you for something that is unimportant to you, it just does not make any sense. If you are one of the person that doesn't know what is enough, remember few things. Number 1, the hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving. There is no point in increasing expectations with increased results. You will feel the same after putting in extra efforts to increase results. It gets dangerous when the taste of having more money, more power, more prestige. Number 2, social comparison is the problem here. Comparing your wealth with other people is a never-ending game. It is the battle that can never be won. Number 3, enough is not too little. Having enough does not mean you will not have a comfortable lifestyle. Enough is the point before you will start regretting. The regret may come in the form of burning out at work for extra money or the risky investment allocation you can't maintain. Number 4, there are many things never worth risking, no matter how the potential is. These are reputation, freedom, family, friends, and happiness. Knowing enough is the key to not taking the risk that will harm these things. Chapter number 4. Confounding Compounding. There are more than 2000 books on Warren Buffett which focus on his investment strategies, but no one focuses on simple things that he is investing since he was 10 years old. Warren Buffett is the richest investor of all time, but it does not mean he is the greatest investor. In fact, Jim Simmons, head of the hedge fund Renaissance Technology, has compounded money at 66% annually since 1998. No one comes too close to his income, and Warren Buffett has compounded at roughly 22% annually. But Simmons' net worth is 21 billion and Warren Buffett's net worth is 84 billion. Because Simmons did not find his investment stride until he was 50 years old. He had less money to compound. More than the investment strategies, Buffett's financial success lies in the simple fact that he started investing at the age of 10 and earned pretty good returns till today. A good investment is not about trying to strategize to earn the highest interest rates. Instead, good investing is about earning pretty good returns for a longer period of time. And knowing enough is knowing how a small investment over a long period of time can fuel huge returns. Chapter number 5. Getting wealthy versus staying wealthy. Good investment is not necessarily about making good decisions. It's about consistently but not screwing up. Author Morgan Housel summarizes money success in a single word, and the word is survival. Earning money and keeping money are two different things. Earning money requires taking risks, putting yourself out there, being optimistic. Keeping money requires humility. It requires having fear in mind that whatever we have earned can be lost. It requires acceptance that some part of our earning is dedicated to luck. We can spend years to understand how Warren Buffett found the great companies and made the best investments. But what equally important is that he did not rely on one strategy. He did not quit. He survived. And the survival gave him longevity, and it helped compounding to make wonders for him. Appreciate these three things to learn the survival mindset. Number 1. More than I want big returns, I want to be financially unbreakable. And if I am unbreakable, I think I will get the biggest returns because I will be able to stick around long enough for compounding to work wonders. Compounding doesn't rely on earning big returns, but it relies on earning merely good returns sustained uninterrupted for the longest period of time. Number 2. Planning is important, but the most important part of every plan is to plan on not going according to plan. You will learn this concept in detail in chapter 13. Number 3. A barbell personality. Optimistic about the future, but fearful about what will prevent you from getting to the future is vital. Optimism is the belief that things will go well, but the realistic optimism is that over a long period of times, things will balance out. You might fear the loss in short terms, but after a loss, you will see the growth. The cycle will continue. Chapter number 6. Tells you win. In the business or investment, few events can cause the majority of outcomes. Let's take the example of Amazon. From books to Fire Phone to travel agencies, they experimented with lots of things. Many failed, but few tales succeeded, like Prime and web services, and made a huge impact on their businesses. Take the example of Apple. iPhone was the tail product, and it made a huge impact on the company's growth. A good definition of an investing genius is the man or woman who can do the average things when all those around them are going crazy. Chapter number 7. Freedom. Controlling your time is the highest dividend money pays. Angus Campbell, a psychologist, researched to know what makes people happy. What he found is quite surprising. He found that more than income, education or geography, having control over one time, no matter what conditions of life are, is the common denominator of happiness. Money's greatest value is its ability to give you control over your time. The ability to do what you want, when you want, with whom you want, for as long as you want is priceless. Chapter number 8. Man in the car paradox. No one is impressed with your possessions as much as you are. Seeing a guy driving a Lamborghini, Tesla, Rolls Royce seems cool. You dream of owning a cool car. You might think having this car sends a signal to people that you are rich, but it really does. What you want is admiration and respect from other people, and you think that having expensive stuff like cars or big homes will bring it. If this is how you seek money, be careful. Humility, kindness and empathy will bring you more respect than horsepower. Chapter number 9. Wealth is what you don't see. Say a person buys a Ferrari of $100,000. The irony of money is that now he has $100,000 less money than before buying such an expensive car. And we don't know, did he pay in full or took a loan to pay that amount. so he is rich but not wealthy. There is a difference between being wealthy and being rich. Rich is the current income and wealth is the income not spent. Wealth is invisible because we cannot see other people's bank account and the money they are not spending. Wealth is an expensive watch not owned. Wealth is the expensive cars not purchased. Wealth is financial assets that haven't yet been converted into stuff. Everyone can become rich by buying big houses, expensive cars, but not wealthy. Because to become wealthy you have to save, and that's next chapter is about. Chapter number 10, Save Money. No matter how much income or investment returns you get, there is no way to become wealthy if you are not saving. Then despite having a decent income, what stops most people from saving? It's their ego. The author Morgan puts it in this way. Your savings is the gap between your income and your ego. Beyond your basic and comfort needs, the money you spend on is your ego approaching money. You just spend to show the people that you have money. And to stop showing off people, you have to care less about people and what they think about you. Chapter number 11, Reasonable is greater than rational. With finance and investment, making rational decisions doesn't always work. You have to make some reasonable decisions that will work for you. The difference between reasonable and rational is rational decisions are based on facts, math, data and science, and the reasonable decisions are based on what you think is correct, although it may seem logical or not. People don't want to live without a clue of what the future holds. Predicting is human nature, it's reasonable. Chapter number 12, Surprise. History is a study of change, ironically used as the map of the future. You should not take the decisions based on the historical events. They should not be the guide for future investments. The world changes. It is full of surprises. You don't know what will be the next surprise. Chapter number 13, Room for Error. When you are planning, you should consider the margin of safety. In addition, you should consider things may not go as you planned. For example, you may retire in the mid of a financial crisis, or a bear market is powerful when considering an exit. These things are often overlooked. That's why you should consider the margin of error and odds. The trick to creating a margin of safety is to save for nothing. Save for the things that will happen in the future that you can't predict. Chapter number 14, You Will Change. Long-term planning is hard because we evolve, change our minds. You don't have a guarantee that the job that thrills you today will thrill you after 5 years. Young people pay good money to remove the tattoos that teenagers pay to get it. Middle-aged people rush to divorce. People who are young adults rush to marry. We change mentally and emotionally over time. And our financial decisions may change as well. Don't assume that you live with a low income for a lifetime. It will increase the odds to the point that you will regret it. Chapter number 15, Nothing is Free. Netflix stock returned more than 35,000% from 2002 to 2018, but traded below its previous all-time high on 94% of days. Market returns are never free. It comes with the cost of volatility. You have two options. Choose an asset that is less volatile, less uncertain with low payoff, or choose an asset with higher uncertainty with higher return. If you consider volatility as a fee you pay, you will see the magic of compounding. However, if you consider the fee as a fine, you will never enjoy the magic. Chapter number 16, You and Me. Everyone plays a different game. For example, some people buy expensive stocks in the bull market because it makes sense to them, and they would sell it when their stock becomes more expensive than their purchase price. So they were playing a short-term game. The problem comes when a long-term investor buys a stock at expensive just by seeing many people are buying it. To put in the author's word, beware taking financial clues from the people playing a different game than you are. Chapter number 17, The Seduction of Pessimism. People used to think that the aeroplanes are impossible. Then in 1903, the Wright brothers did their first flight successfully. Pessimism draws more attention than optimism. Growth takes time. For destruction, it only takes a moment. Pessimism reduces expectations. That's why it is seductive. Chapter number 18, When you will believe anything. Think about market forecasts. Every investor knows we are very bad at it. And after thinking a lot about market forecast, the only thing remains is a risk. Still, there is a huge demand for forecast because we want to believe that we are in control. Last two chapters are not that much important. Chapter number 19, All Together Now. Chapter number 20, Confessions. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you very soon.